All right. So, hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time out of your Friday to join us for the Unlocking Your Expertise with Co-Managed Services webinar. So, I am Madeline Abernathy, and I will be hosting today, and I am part of the marketing team here at Imperium Dynamics. Joining us to help learn about co-managed services, we have Sarah Petruska. Hi, Sarah. And she is a project manager here at Imperium Dynamics. And then we also have Erica Broader, who is also a project manager here at Imperium Dynamics.
Hey everyone, happy to be here.
Yeah. All right. So Sarah and Erica have extensive experience working directly with clients on the execution of co-managed services, making them the perfect people to talk about for getting the most out of learning about co-managed services. Their combined expertise and dedication to client success make them perfect for anyone looking to maximize the benefits of co-managed services. All right. And then, so now just a little bit of an introduction. So if you're new or joining us here today, we are Imperium Dynamics, a proud Microsoft partner based in downtown Chicago, dedicated to bringing your vision to life within the Microsoft stack. So sorry, just having a little bit issue with sharing the presentation here. All right. So we aim to help organizations of all sizes achieve digital transformation by solving complex problems and delivering long-lasting impact through the Microsoft Cloud solutions, with, of course, a focus in increasing both the capabilities of people and the performance of businesses. All right, so just a little bit of housekeeping before we go ahead and get started. So first off, this session is being recorded, and after the webinar is over, you can access the recording via our website. So you can revisit it or share it with your colleagues. And then if you have any questions or inquiries during the presentation, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. Our sales team is here and eager to assist you with any questions you may have. We're excited to interact with you and ensure you get the most out of today's webinar. So we will also be sharing a copy of today's slide deck after the session on our website on the webinar page. So this way you don't have to worry about taking detailed notes while the webinar is being presented. All right, so next we're just going to go ahead and jump into our agenda. So first, we're going to be looking at why you may need co-managed, what is co-managed, the different types of co-managed, the real use case and persona with co-managed, the phases of co-managed, the main attributes and benefits of using co-managed, and post-implementation success. So next, we will be looking at a few, so we're going to dive into a few challenges that kind of go on the key pain points that kind of really show that they're just like challenges that co-manage would really work to solve. So first, we're going to be looking at customization and scalability challenges. So developing customized and scalable IT systems can be challenging, often leading to inefficiencies and missed optimization opportunities. And something that is also vital is staying in sync with Microsoft's semi-annual cloud updates and wave releases, as they are crucial for maintaining compatibility and leveraging new features. And then without a robust management strategy, companies face increased administrative effort and compatibility risks, therefore hindering their ability to quickly benefit from new Microsoft features and maintain a competitive edge. And then next, we're going to be looking at data silo challenges. So integrating new technologies with existing can be complex and a time-consuming process. This often leads to data silos, where information is not seamlessly shared between systems, and this can lead to inefficiencies and errors. And then additionally, compatibility issues can disrupt business operations, making it difficult to maintain an overall smooth workflow. So next, we're going to be going ahead and looking at costly IT staffing. So the expense of hiring and maintaining a team of professionals can be overwhelming. The process of recruiting skilled talent, along with ongoing costs of training and retention, can significantly strain your budget. This financial burden often leaves fewer resources available for other essential business initiatives, making it challenging to balance IT needs with overall business growth. Okay, so next we're just going to be going ahead and looking at a few stats that kind of really show the need for co-managed services. So first off, 45% of companies struggle with the adoption of in-house technologies due to lack of in-house expertise. In the next, 54% of companies actually report significant skill and understanding gaps of the technology that they're implementing, leading to a broad range of challenges for the company across the scope. And then finally, a study found that 70% of digital transformation projects actually end up falling short of the desired goals of the organizations that are implementing them. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and look at what is co-managed. So now that we've talked about why businesses may need co-managed services, let's hear from Sarah to see what she has to say about what co-managed services are from a project manager's perspective. Sarah, I think you're muted. If you could just unmute really quick.
Yeah, it's like getting ready. Okay, technology. So you can see on the slide, obviously, what co-managed is. The main thing that I want to point out is just how tailored it can be to whatever your unique business needs are, which is really nice because I've certainly in past lives experienced, kind of one size fits all services that maybe you use a tiny bit of it and then it just kind of seems like your money's wasted because you're not using all the features. But with co-manage, it's nice because we can tailor it exactly to whatever your needs are, providing expertise, providing governance and security management, as well as education, just to really make sure that the Microsoft platform that you're using, you're able to maximize all of the services in it and really to set yourself up for business growth success, because we're going to help you to utilize all the system services that you need so that the system can grow with you. You won't ever outgrow it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. All right. So now we're going to be looking at the different types of co-managed services. So Erica, could you review the different types of co-managed services and then the platforms they're available on? Additionally, I'd love to hear your perspective on some of those commonly used forms of co-managed services that you see as a project manager.
Yeah, thank you, Maddie. So there are 6 types of co-managed services we offer. First, we have the Power Platform service, and that is the most used from my perspective. And this really assists you in developing, deploying, and leveraging the platforms for low-code growth and maximum security. Then we have the Dynamic CRM service, and that's going to help with day-to-day operations and system maximization. Next, we have the Azure service, and that will help our clients with efficiency of cloud operations and handle interactions with Microsoft. The Dynamics ERP service enhances your operational efficiency and strategic agility, covering the 3 major versions of Microsoft's ERP. And then my favorite, the AI service, is gaining a lot of traction right now. That really helps people maximize the powerful tools like Azure OpenAI service and Azure AI Vision, all while ensuring top performance and security. And last, we have the Microsoft Fabric service, which helps to manage and create a robust data warehouse to centralize data and enable meaningful insights.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Erica. So now we're going to be looking at who are co-managed services for. So co-managed services they're very versatile and they can be customized and implemented in a way that is designed to uniquely meet the wants and needs of your specific company. So here we have just 2 examples of what co-managed services could be used for. Erica, would you mind giving us a bit more information on who co-managed is for?
Of course. So there are kind of 2 avenues here. We have clients that have the existing products and services already in place, and that's where we can come in and provide additional support, adjustments, enhancements, and just training support to maximize their business and productivity. And then we have the clients that do not have those services already in place, and we can help implement those services for them and make sure that it integrates with all of their existing services, and we help them have a smooth transition, and we train them along the way as well in order to make sure that they are set up for success.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Sarah or Erica. All right, so now we're going to touch on some of the main attributes. So now that we have a better understanding of co-managed and how it can be applied, let's take a look at some of the main attributes of the service. Sarah, would you mind filling us in on some of the features of co-managed services?
Yeah, definitely. So technical expertise is obviously a huge one because you have basically 24/7 on call access to experts who are trained, certified in all of the Microsoft platforms, who can answer any questions that pop up. So obviously, life is not perfect. There's always going to be roadblocks and unexpected things that come out of left field, and you're like, what the heck? What do we do? So Co-manage is great because you don't have to search for a solution. You don't have to search for, a resource to hire on. Like, we've got you covered. You've got access on call when you need it. Continuous solution is kind of another big attribute. And so with that, we're able to kind of provide that ongoing oversight that is definitely needed, but it's not like high priority for a lot of people. For instance, monitoring to make sure that like all of your systems are current for updates, maintenance, the kind of behind the scenes stuff that keeps everything running correctly. Like, we are able to make sure that that is taken care of, it's being watched, and we can alert you if there are any issues there. And then just the tailored support, again, customizing this however you need it, because that's the whole point, is to meet your needs and work with you and for you wherever your business is at, wherever your business is going. So those are like the biggest attributes, boiled down as simplified as possible, of why this can be a really, really helpful thing for businesses to really sustain themselves and to grow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. All right, so now let's dive into some real-world examples of how co-management has been successfully implemented. So as project managers, you've worked with and witnessed these cases firsthand. So Erica, would you mind walking us through this recent EBI use case that you guys worked with firsthand?
Yeah, of course. So EBI was one of those clients that already had the products and services in place, and they were really just looking for a way to leverage their Power Apps and enhance their already existing business applications and workflows. So that's where we came in. They actually started to build their own applications, and we met with them about what enhancements they would want to make, and then we built those and asked for the requirements, and we went through iterative cycles to make sure it was up to their standards. And as we supported them with enhancing their application, we were providing them with training and support, and that empowered them to use their Microsoft business applications more effectively as a whole. We also coached them through setting up their own Power BI reports, as well as how to manage their Power Platform environments. So as a result, we were really able to help EBI customize their tools in order to help their workflow run more efficiently and effectively. And we really problem solved together and worked together in order to come up with solutions and support their best practices as a company.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Erica. Okay, so Sarah, given your experience with how many different companies apply and use co-managed services for their systems, could you just walk us through the generalized phases, since the phases and timing can often vary depending on each company's unique needs?
Yeah, for sure. So like we kind of mentioned before, like this is definitely not a one size fits all. It is very tailored. So you can always expect these next three phases at some point in our engagement. So obviously we have to get a setup. So initially we're always going to do an environment check. So taking a really close look, kind of compare it if you're taking your car to the shop to like, get work done or do just a checkup, if you will. So we'll look at your tenant, all the different environments, and we go through a really detailed checklist to make sure that everything is working as it should be. And if it's not, or we see something that potentially could cause a problem later on, we're going to let you know so we can educate you about what our best practices in terms of like environment setup and maintenance, as well as take care of those issues for you. Another thing that kind of follows along with that is licensing and system updates, because sometimes it's easy as we're in the flow of business and like our day-to-day tasks and requirements and goals can kind of catch up with us, then, licensing or updating to the system kind of gets put on the back burner. So we'll make sure everything with that is all set up and how it should be. And the last kind of component for the initial setup is getting Center of Excellence installed and training your team on how to use that. So Center of Excellence, think of that as kind of like a control panel for your entire tenant that's going to give you visuals as to the different systems, all of the environments. You could see how many apps have been made by whom, data space, et cetera, et cetera. So it gives you everything at a snapshot so you can really maximize your efficiency. You don't have to go from place to place and spend a lot of time being like, is everything working okay? It tells you that all up front. And then once all of that is set up, we're going to kind of transition into more of the periodic and more of this customized, tailored approach we've been talking so much. So you could expect regularly on a monthly, or we can adjust it for whatever frequency works with you, but strategy and alignment calls. And these are really helpful because we want you to reach whatever goals that you have and to be able to do that in a really strategic, helpful way so that, again, you can maximize the services that you have and really get the most bang for your buck in all aspects. We're going to continue with those environment checks on a monthly and quarterly basis, as well as provide some kind of baseline educational calls so that we can share best practices with you that are very common, and manual backups as well. And then as needed, depending on what projects you have going on, we'll provide customized training, or maybe you don't have a project, but you have like a dream or something that hasn't happened yet, but your team has shown a lot of interest in a particular area that maybe you don't have strong roots in yet. Like, we can absolutely do training sessions, we can do working sessions, essentially whatever you need to really get you the education, the training, the support that you need to be successful in whatever ways you're moving towards. So that's the general overview. Of course, like we keep repeating like a broken record, it's totally customizable, but these are the general pillars that you can always expect.
That is so awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so now that we have explored an example of successful implementation of co-managed services, let's shift our focus to how the individuals working for a company can directly benefit from co-managed services. So Erica, would you mind giving us some insight on how an IT support manager would benefit from co-managed services?
Yeah, so as an IT manager, there are a lot of common challenges. We have very limited time and resources. Keeping up with the continuous system updates really is time consuming. There's a need for specialized knowledge in a lot of different technological areas. And then need time to train team members to be proficient in those systems, so it's not all up to one person. So the goal would be to really ensure the company's systems running smoothly and efficiently. We want to make sure that we're minimizing the downtime to quickly resolve any issues. And we want to improve the overall productivity of the whole IT department, because really the whole business depends on that, and it's all integrated. Some solutions that our co-managed services provides is providing an IT expert for troubleshooting and system optimization. We want to make sure that there's proactive maintenance, and we want to make sure that we're personalizing any type of training for a company, so that there's better overall utilization of the systems.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Erica. Okay, so let's dive into a few of the key benefits of co-managed services. So with Sarah and Erica's experience as project managers, they have seen these advantages firsthand when working with companies. Sarah, would you mind sharing a few insights on how co-managed services truly make an impact?
Yeah. So top one that comes to mind, obviously you can see them all there, but like versatility is huge. So again, that flexible support, totally tailored to whatever your need is, whether that's maintenance, specific planning, troubleshooting, the sky's the limit there. Like, we can mold it to fit whatever your needs are. A huge one, this is probably like my top benefit, would be peace of mind, because who doesn't want to feel peaceful? But for real, like, you have access to those experts who can essentially find solutions to all the problems that you have, so you don't have to rack your brain or stress out about it as much, because you do know you have someone in your pocket, so to speak, to like, you can always rely on, who will give you that expert guidance. And whether they take care of the problems for you or they walk you through them, you've got someone who's going to back you up no matter what. So that's huge. Governance is another big benefit, because kind of mentioned before, like, day-to-day business really gets, we get busy with the things that are more forward focused. And so maintaining health or security of the IT environment, depending on if you're growing a lot, there's lots of use cases where things can get kind of messed up in that area. And so with co-managed, you've got your team that's going to be responsible for taking care of all of this. And again, doing that regular checking, making sure everything is in order. And if not, taking action to remedy any issues. Continuous improvement is going to help you again with your ongoing updates and really helping you to optimize your systems. That's one of the core goals of this is how can we help you to optimize what you already have and get the most out of it? So we're going to continue to work with you again, based on your needs. What are the goals? What are we working towards? How do we get the most out of what you already have? And then the last piece is it's a really cost-effective alternative to, let's say, hiring your own IT expert. One, it's kind of like hard to find and to like trust, okay, yeah, for sure, this person will have all of the skills that we need, but also it's time consuming and it's costly. And with co-managed, you have like essentially a whole team of experts versus like one or two. So it really has a ton of advantages, and you can really use it however you need. It's just like there is no limit to it that I've seen.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Sarah. Okay, so now we're going to look at some post-implementation success. So co-managed services obviously don't just stop at deployment as we have seen. They provide ongoing support and optimization to ensure your systems remain efficient and effective. So let's take a closer look at how the post-implementation success goes with Erica.
Yeah, after we implement whatever service that we discussed with you in your co-managed plan, we're going to provide consistent training and ongoing education to ensure that as systems are updating or things are changing, that we're making sure that you're set up for success and that everything's going to run really efficiently. And we'll provide regular check-ins with you just to make sure and see if there's any improvements needed in any area, and making sure that everything's staying aligned with your business goals. And then in addition to that, we provide on-call support. So whenever there's a need for anything, you're able to reach out to us and we're there to help.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, so we have a techie character here at Imperium Dynamics, and his name is Perry. So let's hear how he breaks down co-managed services. So Perry says, co-managed services equal your tech team super sidekick. Co-managed services is like having an awesome sidekick by your side, ready to jump in when things get tricky. You're still a hero, but you've got extra backup. Bug busting brain power. Tech troubles, glitches, no biggie. Co-managed services bring in expert brain power to zap bugs fast. Problem spotted, problem squashed. And then techie teacher. Co-managed services aren't just fix-it folks. They're like your favorite tech teacher. They help explain the tricky stuff, guide you through the hard parts, and make sure you don't get stuck. More hands, more help. Need extra hands? I'm still building my cloning machine. But in the meantime, co-managed services is like adding star players to your team. More people in the field means more support, more building, and more reviews, and way fewer drop balls. So if you ever need a hand crossing the street of digital transformation, Imperium Dynamics is right there with you. Tech experts who know every turn, twist, and shortcut. They'll guide you safely down the road to success. All right, so we hope you found this webinar insightful and gained valuable knowledge to apply to your business. If you would like to scan the QR code, and feel free to scan the QR code to learn more. And if you have any questions, feel free to email info@imperiumdynamics.com. So by partnering with Imperium Dynamics you gain innovative solutions for addressing your challenges head on. Thank you for joining, everyone, and thank you, Sarah and Erica.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, guys.